The Kingdom of Zenithia is a bastion of light in an otherwise markedly dingy world. Following the victory by the Great Alliance of the humans, elves, and dwarves nearly 400 years ago, Zenithia took up the northwestern territories of the newly formed Treaty Lands. They built an immense golden city upon the fossils of savage settlements, the once numerous tribes driven north across the treacherous Umbral Spine Mountains and into the Veiled Steppes by the advancing Allied armies. The kingdom soon became a technological powerhouse, further augmenting their already powerful military capabilities. Their solar engineers, learning to harness the power of the sun's rays with ever more advanced machines and weaponry. And not a moment too soon, as like a waxing tide, the displaced tribes began to surge back into the Golden Kingdom with worrying frequency. Alas, with a newly bolstered military, the Zenith Guard pushed back all invaders, securing their lands and bringing peace to the region. Many years have passed, and perhaps the kingdom has become complacent, for a threat, the likes of which have not been seen since the Great War, has amassed the northern lands and is marching south with terrible intent. The brave men and women of the Zenith Guard must gather their courage and face this threat head-on. In the savage and inhospitable Veiled Steppes reside many scattered and feuding tribes. Only the most ruthless survive in such a place, constantly under threat from neighboring tribes and all manner of twisted beasts. The land itself is cast into a perpetual shade by the towering mountain range to the south. So massive is this wall of rocks and ice that it is almost completely impassable save for a single mountain pass. For hundreds of years, any daring warriors that made the journey were soon caught and dispatched by the vigilant Zenith Guard. Now, under the burning eye banner of Belzin the Corruptor, 1,000 tribes are moving with the same goal: to breach the pass and claim fertile grounds beyond the mountains. Accompanied by a menagerie of terrible beasts, monsters, and worse, this legion of corrupted warriors marches south. The impending conflict will reach its apex in the northwestern region, but the treaty lands are managed under the shared rule of the human, elven, and dwarven alliance, each with their own territories. As the war for Zenithia sparks, Allied forces are diverted as more threats begin to present themselves. On the southern coast, an almighty armada of pirate rats have made landing. Led by the ruinous Screech Blacktooth, a cruel captain of unmatched power. Once a rather unremarkable upstart, Screech was quickly beaten, and a ship sunk to the bottom of the ocean along with his crew. Only Screech survived, returning from the Black Abyss with an otherworldly destiny, bestowed with dark abyssal powers of unknown origin. Screech quickly brought his rival captains to heel and formed the first Pirate Armada. Upon making land, the fleet of ships has been promptly dismantled and fashioned into ramshackle artillery and weapons platforms. Why a pirate captain would destroy his own fleet is yet a mystery. In response, the Elven Kingdom of Thaler dispatches their aerial defense force, the Seaward Talons. The young and newly promoted Commander Caladir utilizes unconventional and unproven tactics, favoring the speed and maneuverability of the native Sea Eagles to strike with brutal results. And with a point to prove, will he underestimate the tactical skill of the invading pirate captain? To the west, Princess Kara has defied her father's orders and led an elite attack force deep into Goblork Undercon territory, with the intention to root out the infestation. The Stone-Shaper dwarves are elemental masters of stone, rock, and earth. With runic powers, the Stone-Shapers can alter the properties of stone at will to make it flow like water or be as light as cloth. For the last decade, Princess Kara has led innovation in military application, and it is with these prototype inventions that she sets off into hostile lands. Beneath the ground, in the endless networks of tunnels that worm within the hollow plains, resides the subterranean territories of the Goblork Undercons. Once this land was free of these pests, and a much safer place for it. Once the Goblorks were driven from the eastern lands some 200 years ago, they have spread into every crevice and hole. Upon arriving on the plains, they have found the dominant fauna were a variety of mole-like species filling every biological niche imaginable. There are slow-moving herbivorous moles, predatory pack moles that hunt like wolves, and even gigantic behemoths weighing close to 10 tons. Quickly, these animals were subjugated by the Goblorks and became formidable mounts and beasts of burden, ridden whilst on raids and set loose to wreak havoc behind enemy lines. Making constant incursions into the grand stone-shaper halls and tunnels beneath the mountains, the innumerable Goblorks have drawn the fiery wrath of youth that may lead to their ruin. Each of these 3 conflicts make up the Treatyland Saga, the first planned saga in the Great Warfront adventure. Each army is compatible with all past and future releases, and with many more sagas in development, Warfront is poised to be an expansive and thematically rich wargame that belies its simplicity.